The Republic of Zambia, the landlocked country located in the Southern African region, named by the World Bank in 2010 as one of the world's fastest growing economically reformed countries, is the next destination for Dangote Group's cement expansion program across the African continent. With its focus on the provision of local value-added products and services that meet the needs of the African population, Dangote Group, which has the largest cement production company in Africa, with a market capitalization of almost $14 billion on the Nigerian Stock Exchange, has already established cement factories in Benin, Togo, Ethiopia, Rwanda, Cameroon, Ghana, and South Africa. The commissioning of the Dangote factory in Zambia on Tuesday, 4th of August 2015, is the culmination of the agreement Dangote Group signed with the government of Zambia in December 2010 to construct a $400 million cement plant, which will have an annual output of 1.5 million metric tons of cement. Direct jobs will be provided to over 1,000 people at the Dangote Cement Factory, Zambia. The Dangote Group, which is a diversified conglomerate with interests across a range of sectors like sugar, cement, flour, salt, pasta, beverages, real estate, oil and gas, telecommunications, fertilizer and steel, has close to 30,000 employees across Nigeria, Africa, and other parts of the world. The new Dangote Cement Factory, which is located in Ndola, 271 kilometers from Lusaka, the Zambian capital, is expected to be patronized by local markets in the Copper Belt region and export to the mining regions of the Democratic Republic of Congo and Rwanda. The Dangote Cement Factory has reserves of more than 240 million tons of limestone. Dangote Group is clearly the Pan-African leader in cement production, with high-quality cement production at lower costs and factories with strong shares in key African markets. Dangote cement factories across 13 African countries have recorded excellent results in their operations, with 22% volumes sold outside Nigeria. It was indeed a day of glory for the African continent, and Africans, particularly Zambians and Nigerians, who basked in the entrepreneurship strides of the president of Dangote Group, Alhaji Aliko Dangote, GCON, the famous Pan-African entrepreneur par excellence. The program formally began with an address by the monarch of Ndola province, where the multi-billion-dollar Dangote cement factory is located. The monarch, who saluted the strides of the president of Dangote Group, Alhaji Aliko Dangote, appealed to him to give serious consideration to the employment of Zambians to the factory.
I would like, in this vein, therefore, to assure you, Mr. Alhaji Aliko Dangote and your group of companies, that you should be free to conduct your business here in Chief Chwala's chiefdom. Indeed, this is your home away from home. Your investment is safe in my chiefdom, as can be seen by the warm hospitality exhibited by my people. As a chiefdom, we know and understand development cannot happen in the absence of investment. Real investment that would impact positively on the lives of the people. Hence, my chiefdom is ready to support government policies on promoting local and foreign investment regardless of its source, as long as the investment is legal and does not contravene national laws and local tradition customs.
Indeed, today marks a great milestone in the growth of the industrial sector of our nation. It has been a long journey from the time engagement commenced between government and the Dangote Group back in 2007. The experience during this journey has shown that where there is commitment and will, there is always a way. The actualization of the $400 million investment today is as a result of many consultations among various stakeholders, including traditional leaders and key government institutions and the Dangote Group. I've been reliably informed But the team of government negotiating team, led by the Director of Industry, who is now my permanent secretary, traveled to Nigeria and saw for themselves state-of-the-art Dangote production facilities at Obadana and elsewhere in Nigeria, which should be replicated in Zambia. I've further been reliably informed that these production facilities will come along with other complementary facilities, such as banks, shopping malls, retail service centers, post offices, as well as transport logistics, amongst others. Despite the prolonged consultation and the many challenges along the way, today we stand proud as a united force in delivering one of the huge investments in Africa that will benefit not only the investors but also the Zambian economy, and in particular local entrepreneurs who will be providing goods and services to the country. As government, we are committed to ensure that all investments that come into the country result into a win-win situation. This is the case that we're witnessing today.
In the remarks of the president of Dangote Group, Alhaji Aliko Dangote GCON, stated that the construction of the factory began in 2011 and production started in April 2015. The Dangote cement factory in Dola, Zambia is powered by 30 megawatts of electricity produced from coal. Already, the plant produces 60,000 bags of cement daily and 1.5 million tons per annum.
It has been a long but successful journey, which I think we have had quite a lot of roadblocks, mainly created by competition. I would like to thank Linda Mataka, Monica Musanda, and our local staff for their valuable contributions to make this project a reality. I'm excited that we're back here today in the City District in Dola this time to commission our new state-of-the-art integrated cement plant with a capacity of 1.5 million metric tons per annum, along with the 30 megawatts of coal-fired plant. This is the sixth integrated cement plant outside Nigeria. We hope to commission 4 other cement plants this year in Senegal, South Africa, Cameroon, and Tanzania, latest before end of this year. We are motivated to invest in setting up cement plants in 16 countries across the continent because we believe that Africa's future growth is intrinsically linked to cement, the most basic input in building infrastructure.
Alhaji Aliko Dangote promised a lot of goodies for the Ndola community where the plant is located to make life more meaningful for them, to give them a sense of belonging. These include well-equipped 21st century compliant community standard school and hospital.
We have already committed to assisting the Mesati community to build a school. We will build a hospital, other social amenities as part of our CSR initiatives, and this is with immediate effect. Just as we have done at our Obadana, Boko and Ibeshe cement plants in Nigeria, and doing in other African countries where we have our plants. We also intend to set up a scholarship scheme in accredited universities in Zambia, which shall be a vehicle and also will make it available for them on a yearly basis for qualified high school students from the city district whose courses of study are relevant to our operations, and also the ones that are not fully sort of relevant. Anything that's directly or indirectly will definitely assist in funding their education. In addition, we shall assist small-scale farmers in the locality by providing funding yearly and to a duly incorporated and registered farming cooperative. We shall work with the Chwala Royal Establishment here in Dola to execute these projects. It is our hope that these projects will bring more development in this district. And to support this, the company will put on the table $500,000 to start with. Of course, this project will not have materialized if we did not receive the full support from the government of Zambia, headed by His Excellency. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, please permit me to specially commend the Zambian government, both past and present, for creating the enabling environment for us.
Alhaji Aliko Dangote promised the monarch of the area that he will scale up the employment of indigents of the area. According to him, 400 brand new customized vehicles will soon be commissioned to help in the operations of the cement factory.
And I want to assure the people here that we will have employment of over 1,000 people, and the people here will definitely benefit. We will not come here and leave them empty-handed. Well, we are also looking at infrastructure. The chief has discussed about infrastructure. The chief knows very well that the government has given us the approval and the go-ahead to construct this infrastructure, the road right from here up to the street, and this road will be the first ever concrete road in Zambia. While we are in business of cheaply creating wealth through value addition, we are not unmindful of the need also to touch lives of the people, particularly members of our immediate host communities. In all the host communities where we operate, we have a robust corporate social responsibility strategy in place for translating this philosophy into projects and action that will be of benefit to our host communities. In this regard, we wish to thank His Royal Highness Senior Chief Chwala, who also provided positive guidance and advice.
Vice President Yemi Osinbajo, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, GCON, who was a special guest of honor at the event, conveyed the fraternal greetings of the President and people of Nigeria to Zambians.
I say that it's a special pleasure and an honor to witness this event because it is probably the largest investment by an indigenous African company with its origins in sub-Saharan Africa in another African country. This historic event underscores certain critical issues, but I'll come to them presently. For now, let me commend our host, President Edgar Chagwa Lungu, and Her Excellency, the Vice President, Inonge Mutukwa Wina, for their warm and most generous hospitality in hosting me and my entourage, and all of those visiting from Nigeria. Mr. President, the foresight of the government of Zambia in approving this project and facilitating its establishment is commendable indeed, and it exemplifies the kind of African leadership that our continent today needs very badly. Leadership that fully understands that a private sector-led economy working collaboratively with a knowledgeable government bureaucracy is the way of the future. Please accept, especially Your Excellency, the warm greetings and felicitations of your brother and counterpart, His Excellency President Muhammadu Buhari, President, Federal Republic of Nigeria. Today's ceremony, in his view, represents an important milestone in the excellent fraternal relationship that has existed for decades between our two countries.
He said the spirit of friendship and bridges of goodwill and cordiality, which the business partnership between Nigeria and Zambia represent, will help to further consolidate the long-standing bilateral ties between the two African countries.
Alhaji Dangote, a Nigerian from Kano State, and his pan-Nigerian and now pan-African team has done us all very proud. with the Dangote Group, which now has plants in several African countries, today's historic event brings to the fore three issues central to the rapid development of our continent and the emancipation of our people from poverty and its dehumanizing implications. These are political stability, human capacity development, and economic integration. The institution of democracy is taking hold across Africa. The correlation between development and the stability engendered by free choice of leadership is no longer debatable. The rule of law, protection of the right to private property, and respect for the sanctity of contract are institutional pillars of liberal democracies that today guarantee an environment where commerce, industry, and professional practice can thrive and bring the much-needed jobs to millions of our people. This legislative device is forward-looking and creative as it offers comfort and confidence, especially to foreign businesses undertaking major long-term investments in Zambia. One of the key challenges to rapid growth in Africa is extreme poverty. Africa, unfortunately, remains the poorest continent in the world. The implications are illiteracy, poor health, and low income per capita. This is a cross-cutting African problem, but the only solution is substantially investing in human capacity development. We simply must spend more money on the people. We must spend more money on education, technology, and healthcare. We must invest in technology, infrastructure, to enable our young and bright boys and girls hone their skills in the competitive world of technology.
In the address of President Edgar Lungu of Zambia, he also congratulated the president of Dangote Group, Alhaji Aliko Dangote, GCON, for using his unflinching and unwavering entrepreneurship stride to cement the relationship among African countries.
I'm particularly delighted to note that Dangote Industries Zambia Limited has invested in developing infrastructure, equipment, mining, and other auxiliary services as pledged in the Investment Promotion and Protection Agreement signed in December 2010 between the company and the Zambian government. With these new developments, I have no doubt that Masaiti district is poised to become the new Obajana of Zambia. I want to stress that the investment by Dangote could not have come at a better time than now, when my government has prioritized infrastructure development throughout the country. In the recent past, government has commissioned a number of multi-billion kwacha projects, spurring domestic demand for cement, which is expected to increase exponentially in the coming years. Projects such as this cement plant are therefore critical to supporting the unprecedented pace of infrastructural development being undertaken in the country, such as the construction of dams, roads, hospitals, schools, airports, among others. I am aware that this investment by Dangote Group is the largest ever major investment into Zambia by a Nigerian company, with an investment outlay of $400 million United States dollars, translating to the equivalent of 2 billion Zambian kwacha. I have been informed that this new state-of-the-art integrated cement plant has an installed capacity of producing up to 1.5 million tons of cement per annum, along with 30 megawatts coal-fired plant with provisions for future expansion.
He wished that more entrepreneurs from Nigeria and other parts of Africa and the world will take advantage of the hospitable disposition of the Zambian people and the business-friendly regulations of the country to set up their businesses in Zambia. He promised to give them all the needed support to enable their businesses to thrive.
I'm very confident that Dangote Cement Plant Management will flow with the intention of my government to ensure our people feel part and parcel of this momentous development on the Copper Belt. Ladies and gentlemen, as government, we are aware that for years now our people have been subjected to high monopolistic pricing structure for cement. Today, however, I'm the happiest person to note that ever since the Dangote cement plant came onto the Zambian market, the price of cement has been gravitating towards what I could call the normal price. This implies that the cost of construction is now becoming more reasonable and affordable by the majority of our people. This, I'm glad to say, is what it should be. As you may be aware, my government has traditionally relied more on bitumen for the construction of roads. With the reasonable pricing of cement now, we should be able to use more cement to construct our highways. And this will ensure that the lifespan for our roads can be pushed to over 50 years. At this point, may I urge the Road Development Agency, RDA, to urgently explore the possibility of putting up roads that are more durable and affordable by utilizing more of cement and less of bitumen.
The high point of the event was the official commissioning of the over $400 billion Dangote cement factory at Ndola in Zambia. In attendance were Vice President Yemi Osinbajo of Nigeria, President Edgar Lungu of Zambia, President of Dangote Group, Alhaji Aliko Dangote, and other dignitaries. The 30 megawatts plant that generates electricity for the factory by coal, which is got locally, was also commissioned at the ceremony. The dignitaries were later conducted around the Dangote cement factory to have a first-hand feel of how operations are carried out in the multi-billion naira ultra-modern 21st century compliant Dangote Cement Company, which is located at Musaiti in the Ndola province of Zambia. As Africa's leading cement producer with 3 plants in Nigeria, Dangote Cement has eliminated Nigeria's dependence on imported cement and has transformed the nation into an exporter serving neighboring African countries.
No, of course, this is a very remarkable project. It's going to create employment. They will stop importing cement and create jobs to those countries that manufacture cement outside this country.
For a Nigerian to be creating jobs in different African countries for African workers gives me additional joy and a sense of pride and fulfillment. So for me, it's a multiple victory. For a friend, a brother, a Nigerian, an employer, providing jobs for my people, I mean, it cannot be better.
Coming out of this plant is the highest quality cement in Zambia today. And I'm happy to report it's coming out at the lowest price. So the Zambians, I understand, say this is a development that has never happened before, to see cement prices coming down. And that's directly attributable to the production and supply from this plant.
Dangote has put up a plant or an investment. Most of the reasons is because there's so much need of investment in most of part of Africa. As you know, Africa is developing and developing strongly, and cement is one of the main ingredients for development.
Aliko Dangote is an African capitalist. He is investing long term in key sectors that help to catalyze and develop the African economy. Whilst making profit, is also touching communities. This is African capitalism in action. Aliko Dangote should be commended by every Nigerian and every African. I'm proud to have him as a friend and as a brother, and I believe every Nigerian should be proud of this man.
1 million tons. Today, we are talking of number close to 30 million. And Dangote alone has been a very, very big driving force in this sector. I think I'm very much proud of him. I think he's made Nigeria proud. I think he showed what it takes to be an entrepreneur.
We've been advised by foreign investors that Africa must help itself before it can then garner, before it can attract foreign capital. So when you see this happening, you see African entrepreneurship, accepting the challenge for development. The development of this magnitude, this clearly shows that Africa as a giant, an economic giant, is about to roar. For me, there is significant infrastructure deficits in Africa. We are going to begin to see emergence of middle class as many Africans are lifted above poverty. So there will be requirement for housing, there will be requirement for construction of bridges. The physical infrastructure gap is very, very, very apparent in Africa. And as we begin to address this, cement is a product definitely that will be needed to catalyze the development of Africa.
I am impressed by the quality of facility that I've seen here. We are rightly informed. Okay, we're rightly informed that it cost the Dangote Group a whopping sum of $400 million. I'm sure if you convert this to Naira, you know how much he has invested here. And from this investment, I think Dangote is a pride of Nigeria, is a pride of Africa. One of the major challenges facing Africa is that of wealth creation. Today, through this facility, Dangote has helped in creating wealth, providing employment, and once you provide employment and create wealth for a people, you will equally it addresses the problem of poverty.